And welcome to Grade Gov News. Well, this has been a difficult week for the American people. Beginning with the Boston Marathon tragedy and terrorist attack at the early part of the week, and then towards the end of the week, the explosion in West Texas. I know my heart goes out, my prayers go out to those folks so impacted by these tragedies and these deaths. But good and honest people, they can disagree. And that's what our representative government is all about. The Senate of the United States this week, they agreed. They agreed by unanimous consent to set up 9 roll call votes on amendments that could potentially become part of the Democrats' gun control bill. That's right, by unanimous consent, they said that these 9 roll call votes would require 60 votes in order to be included in the bill. And the Senate then went on to defeat 7 of these 9 proposals. One of them is the amendment that we've heard so much about, the amendment by Senator Manchin, the Democrat from West Virginia, and Senator Toomey, the Republican from Pennsylvania, on background checks. That amendment basically received 54 roll call votes. Didn't come close to the 60 needed. It actually had 55, but Senator Reid, the majority leader, he had to vote no. He has to vote on the prevailing side in order to preserve the right to call it back up again. And he did that. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Senator Feinstein offered her amendment dealing with the assault weapons ban. She received 40 votes. Didn't come close to the 60 votes that she needed. And Senator Lautenberg had one on high-capacity clips, and that received 46 votes, also failing and coming short of the 60 votes needed. After those votes on Wednesday, the president had a statement that he made in the Rose Garden. His portion of the statement lasted 13 minutes, and in that he said what just happened in the Senate was a distortion of the Senate rules, that the minority was able to block the gun control changes by distorting the Senate rules. Well, Mr. President, I know you were a United States Senator for a short period of time, and I know the Senate rules can be a little complicated, but they agreed, all 100 senators agreed by unanimous consent to set up the voting procedure the way they set it up. And of course, unanimous consent means exactly what those two words sound like, unanimous consent. Mr. President, that's hardly a distortion of the Senate rules by the minority. And then during that 13-minute speech, the president went on to say 6 separate times that 90% of the American people supported background checks. Really? 90% of the American people. How do you get 90% of the American people without talking to every single American citizen? And then after talking to every single American citizen, you come to the conclusion that 10% of them don't agree with you, and therefore you have the right, the honest right, to say that 90% of the American people feel one way or the other. That's how you come up with 90% of anything. You saw, Mr. President, you said in your statement, closing your Rose Garden statement, that it was a shameful day in Washington. You said that opponents willfully were lying. I agree with you in one respect. It was a shameful day for Washington, but not for the same reason you were saying. It was a shameful day in Washington because it is truly shameful when disagreements occur between two people because one of the two parties isn't telling the truth. What a shame. Now, Senator Harry Reid, the majority leader, at the end of the week, used his ability to move off of the gun control bill. He said the Senate would be coming back to it, but he decided to move to proceed to the internet tax bill. This is a bill that allows states to start collecting internet taxes on the internet if they choose. This idea was proposed when the Senate was debating the budget resolution right before the August recess, and it garnered 74 votes. So that's what the Senate will be taking up next week, the motion to proceed to the internet tax bill. And over on the House of Representatives, they are continually trying to get co-sponsors on their companion bill to the Manchin-Toomey background check bill. Their companion bill is H.R. 1565, and they are looking for co-sponsors so that they could ask the Speaker to schedule that bill in the coming weeks. We'll watch all of this and more. In the meantime, don't forget to listen to GradeGov Radio. You can find GradeGov Radio shows on the homepage of gradegov.com. Click on the radio tab and then choose the radio show you'd like to listen to. And I'll be updating these videos from time to time. So thanks for listening. Have a wonderful, blessed weekend, and I will talk to you real soon. So stay tuned.